Hi, welcome back to the Grundnorm.trivia. So from past few days, you must have noticed that there is a furore about Abhijeet coming back to India, the founder of the Cockroach Janta party. And he, on his Twitter handle and Instagram account, has announced that he will be landing on 6th June, 8 a.m. To India, and he will be going to the police station asking for the permission, and he has requested or beseeched or pleaded everyone to join him, and he wants to do a peaceful demonstration at Jantar Mantar asking for the resignation of a certain minister. Now, we are all aware of this, and there is a lot of talks and cross talks and debates whether he will be arrested or not, whether he will be given the permission or not. He is claiming that he is exercising his fundamental right. Of course, he is absolutely right, no doubt about it. So today, let's try and understand that what will happen. Will he be arrested? Will he be allowed to protest? Yes, no, maybe. Everybody who's watching this video, by the end of the video, you will be able to yourself come to the conclusion that what is going to happen, because we at Grundnorm.trivia, we do not believe in noise. We do not believe in chaos. We believe in the letter of the law. So let's see what the letter of the law or the Grundnorm or the Constitution of India says about it. Now, Abhijeet mentioned that he's going to exercise his fundamental right. His fundamental right under Article 19(1), which is the freedom to speak, express, to assemble peacefully without arms. Let's look at what the Indian Constitution says when you are talking about the right to freedom. So there are protection of certain rights regarding freedom of speech. And under Article 19, Clause 1, there are 6 fundamental rights that every citizen of the country has. The first one is the freedom of speech and expression. Second is, that is the B one, the subclause B is to assemble peacefully and without arms. The third one is, or the C subclause is to form association or unions. Subclause D says to move freely throughout the territory of India. Subclause E says that you can reside and settle in any part. And the last but not the least, the G subclause says that you can practice any profession or you can carry any occupation, trade or business. However, we know that despite the fact that we have borrowed these fundamental rights from the United States of American Constitution, they are not absolute. They are with reasonable restriction. Now, please pay attention to these reasonable restrictions, because when Article 19, Clause 1 gives you these fundamental rights which cannot be taken away by the legislation, it also very clearly mentions that the legislation can impose reasonable restrictions. So let's look at the reasonable restrictions out here. So when you look closely at Article 19, Clause 2, it very clearly states that there are certain boundaries that one must not cross, or the reasonable restrictions on exercising your right are that if it is against the interests of or the sovereignty and the integrity of India, or it is against the interest of the security of the state, or it affects the friendly relations with foreign states. And the next one is very interesting: public order. If it is not in the interest of a public order, decency or morality, or incitement to an offense, if there are chances that there is an incitement to an offense, then also reasonable restrictions can be applied. And there is one more very interesting reasonable restriction, and that is in the interest of public order, that we have already mentioned over here. Okay. So it is in the interest of the general public. If you look at clause 6, article 19 clause 6, you will realize that it also says that if it is not in the interest of general public, then also it can be restrictions can be applied. So now you decide that what is going to happen on 6th June at 8 a.m. Think, what if there are too many people, those who have assembled? What if too many people are just carrying a simple umbrella which is unfolded, which looks like a weapon? Think. Okay? And we will see what happens, and then we will take a call, and then we will decide.